the other shows at Four Star, because it was booming and it was right at the cusp of the Western phenomenon that was going on in the 50s and on into the 60s. A friend of mine, David Levy, who was the head of programming at NBC at the time, greenlit a series called The Westerner.
Yeah.
With Brian Keith that Sam Peckinpah had created.
But I used to get calls from him. My wife will tell you at 4 in the morning he would call me with various and sundry things.
Well, he was such a talented writer, filmmaker, and the West was his passion. So the Westerner, which was, like you said, very unique at the time. The reviews were fantastic, but yet it was canceled. Why do you think it didn't work?
Because it was not stereotypical, I think, and it was rating well. I don't understand. I knew David Levy. I don't know why they canceled his show. I just don't know. It's a mystery because it was getting good reviews. And it was critically doing very well.
And he was using some of the people who became part of his stock company. Brian Keith, of course, did the feature Deadly Companions, which to me always seemed like the show was canceled, The Westerner, and he had Brian Keith and a lot of these same people. He said, let's take this team and make a feature, and they put Maureen O'Hara in that, in The Deadly Companions, which was flawed, the movie, but that's his first feature film.
Right. Well, he did some brilliant films, and then he did some films that I don't think were very good. I mean, he was uneven.
Another show you worked on on the Four Star lot was with Steve McQueen, Wanted Dead or Alive, which still holds up great, and so charismatic he was. And did he want to be a Western star?
Well, he'd come from New York. He was a New York actor, and I think he was capable of being whatever he was asked to be in terms of that. He was very, very athletic. He took to that role incredibly. And you know, I don't think he had ever ridden before. And the Wranglers said that in no time that he was an incredible rider. And he had a unique way of mounting the horse. He would do a kind of a standing leap and jam one foot
like
in.
Roy. He was watching Roy Rogers movies, I guess, because that's what Roy did, a great mount like that.
So yeah, I wanted to try to do that. I practiced, but I never got good enough to reveal the way I did it.
Now, what was he like on set?
Perfectly professional. He was there. He was the consummate professional. He always knew his lines. He was prepared to go. He was good humor. He was an outstanding guy, and we became friends.
Did you go motorcycle riding with him?
Yeah, I did. And an interesting story was in the second season, he would ride that motorcycle, and he would come into the lot, you know, on the rear wheel and stuff like that. And my dad was concerned that he would hurt himself, and you know, to shut the show down. So in the second year, they wrote it into his contract that he couldn't ride the motorcycle during there. Now I didn't know that, and he and I would talk and what have you. And he had a Triumph Bonneville, and he said to me, you know, I could sell this to you at a very, very good price, this motorcycle. And I said, what? And he offered a price that I couldn't refuse. And I bought it. The humor of him selling his motorcycle he couldn't run to the boss's son.
Taking that money. How long did you have the motorcycle?
Well, I had it for a long time.
Now, after the show was off the air and he was making feature films, did you hang out with him or go bike riding with him after that?
No, after he left, I didn't see him for years until I ran into him one time. I was with a girlfriend in a restaurant, and I hadn't seen him for 15 years or something. You know, I went on making things, and he became the most famous movie star in the world. And I noticed Steve was at the bar, and he was kind of looking at me.
By himself?
By himself. And so I finally got up and strolled over, and he said, "What's the matter, Norm?" He said, "Don't say hello to old friends." And he sat down and was charming, and I can't believe Gloria was going out of her mind, sitting there with Steve McQueen.
Yeah.
So that was an amazing evening.
Hi, I'm Rob Word. Thanks for watching A Word on Westerns. Each week we post a new episode, and all you have to do is subscribe right here. Click on this, you won't miss a one. Adios.